everyone. This is Marge with Imagine Over 50. And subscribe to our channel and check us out on Facebook at Imagine Over 50. Or you can just simply email me at imagineover50@gmail.com. Now, my podcast today is going to be about humility. Yeah. You know, humility seems to be almost impossible when you are out there searching for a new job. You know, you go on LinkedIn and you apply for positions and don't hear a word. Nothing. No follow-up, no nothing, even though you've had an interview. And, yeah, it can get irritating, you know, and you try so hard not to take it like, oh, it's something I did, or maybe I'm not qualified. You're qualified enough. But me being the shy person at times, I just fail to ask certain questions during the interview. And, yeah. But, you know, humility can also be about the fact that you're over 50 and you feel energetic. You feel like you can rule the world and you're curious, ready to contribute. But, your body's telling you you're no longer 25. You know exactly how that way is. So, you know, when you, it's easy to question the moments of, I do know I'm naturally shy, and for a long time, so that is a weakness. But it may be the greatest strength I actually ever have, you know. I often come up with crazy stories. It's just something I do. But my story today is going to be about the honeybee. Have you ever noticed a honeybee when it's out looking for a flower? He's got one job to do, and that's getting the pollen from that flower. And the honeybee seems like it's just working alone, and he's humble as he works. He just goes off and he does all he wants. Even though it appears to be meaningless, actuality it's not. The bee is actually grabbing that flower to make the most delicious honey in the world. That's all a bee does. He just makes bees, he makes honey, the end. But, you know, sometimes it seems like the bee could be its own little character, you know. Granted, he will sting you if you catch him just right. But, you know, you just need to weather the storms, the setbacks, the willingness of trying again, the realizing, you know what, I'm going to be 60, but you know what? I still have a lot of life in me, you know? So I'm going to become like that bee and just be inspirational, be humble, use humility as much as I can, and we can go from there. So, you know, like the bee, you can carry more power than you realize. You know, and as I was watching a little bit of the Pope Francis funeral coverage recently, something struck me. Yeah, Pope Francis once said, "Who am I to judge?" And you know what? That reminder made it seem like I don't need to be judging myself. Who am I to be judging? You might be judging others, but don't be judging yourself. You know, I feel that society puts people down a lot. They do. You know, whether or not you've got the right hair, the right clothing, the right looks, the right everything. And so that it's hard for when you having that build up. I can't do this, I can't do that. There's no such word as can't in my vocabulary unless I was unable to do something. Usually I can jump through a different types of hoops, say, ooh, but I can get the job done. And I've always been that way. And sometimes, you know, I got to remind myself that I do need to be to have some humility, you know. Sometimes I agree that sometimes you're like, maybe it recognizes that you are enough, instead of you saying, I'm not enough. It's always me. Why did I do this? And why haven't I done this? And why is it that I lost my job in the first place when in actuality it had nothing to do with you? The fact that my mental health was going downhill when I was at work. Yeah, it was going down so much so that I felt I was being judged. I felt like I didn't belong. Even though I worked there for 20 years, at times it was just easier not being there, you know? Um, I don't do well with interviews. I don't. I can respond with socials. I'm happy to get out there and meet up with others and do my social stuff. But sometimes when you are silent, it doesn't mean anything. Silence could be just about the fact that you might be praying, at least for me. I take Sundays and I usually use that as a reflection day. Really and truly, I do. Like take the time to spend time with my husband because he works all the time too. And maybe just saying, what I'm doing is enough, you know? I just need the extra income coming in, but I know that too will come in time. And there's more learning as I'm going. There's a little addition that makes you feel deeper, gentle, and very human. We as humans are not perfect in any way. We're not supposed to be perfect. What is perfect? Yeah, you could say, oh, I'm neat and I'm orderly and I put my pant leg on in one foot and put my pant leg on the other foot. That's too much work, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Anywho, you know what? Subscribe. Catch me on Imagine Over 50. In the meantime, just take your breath. Breathe in, breathe out in between your thoughts. And you'll eventually get that warmth, desire, and the creativity that you really want to be. So who am I to judge? Not me. It's not my job. It's for somebody else. But you know what? I'll be cheering you on, hoping that your job search is going well. But as for me, I'm going to keep on with my travel agency and we'll see where it goes from there. Until then, catch you later. Bye.